We're still having a great time in Chicago. I'll admit to having a little help finding my way around from my niece Gia, who's behind the camera since she lived here for 8 years. One of her recommendations of a quintessential Chicago experience is to attend a baseball game at the iconic Wrigley Field. Built in 1914 as a one-level seating capacity of 14,000, Wrigley Field has been home to the Chicago Cubs for over 100 years. As renovations ensued to expand capacity, several features would distinguish the stadium from others of its era. Ivy on the outfield brick walls, a hand-operated scoreboard, which is still in use today, and a 1934 Art Deco marquee located outside the home plate entrance. You don't have to be a fan of Major League Baseball to feel the excitement of the crowd and the history of such an important piece of Chicago's narrative. There is quite a thrill to attend a baseball game, but just as much of a thrill to discover another compelling place to shop in one of Chicago's charming neighborhoods, Ravenswood, where small independent shops line the residential streets in an unassuming way, so you just have to know they are there. You definitely wouldn't want to miss Ponnopozz, as it will brighten your day and give your spirit a boost. So Hope, obviously the very first question we have to ask is, where in the world did the name come from?
Okay, so Adrianne Hawthorne, the artist behind Ponnopozz, had two imaginary friends growing up. One named Ponno, one named Pozzer. They had different personalities, different traits, and she doesn't remember them, but her family does. And when she was feeling kind of bogged down in corporate world-ness, she wanted to do something for herself that kind of reminded her of the carefree, spontaneous, joyful attitude that she had as a kid. And so she started painting some of the work that you see behind us and decided what better way to describe that work than taking on the moniker of those two friends that she had to sort of describe this joyful, exuberant art that she creates, because color isn't just for kids.
I totally agree with that. Also, you walk in here and you just get the sense of cheerfulness, happiness, joy, that kind of thing. And I know you guys have worked hard to make that part of the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Adrianne has such a specific and unique vision of her art that and her heart, honestly, too. That it makes it really easy for me as the buyer and the manager of the store to just extrapolate from that and fill the space with pieces that either reflect that, encourage that, just to give people something to add a little whimsy to their life in any shape or form.
Mm-hmm. Well, even the outfit that you're wearing is so happy.
So this dress is actually one of Adrianne's newer textile designs. She's been experimenting more with repeating patterns that can be used on textiles. Mm-hmm. She's got activewear sets that she's been doing that with for the last 3 years now, bathrobes, pajamas. And so the dress that I'm wearing right now is her newest sort of experimentation into how people can do color and how to keep her style, her signature style, still the same, but maybe pared down a bit, because obviously this dress is not as wild as some of the other pieces behind us, but it still is obviously very much her.
Mm-hmm. So who is your customer who comes in and loves this kind of art?
I mean, there's the obvious people who love color, and then a lot of times we'll get people who come in and they're just they didn't realize that they were missing something. So they come in and it's a light bulb goes off where they're like, oh, it speaks to them in a way that maybe other art hasn't before. And that's kind of my favorite, is seeing people come in and just have this aha moment that they can have color in their life. And it's great because she's got a bunch of different variations, a bunch of different levels of
Like, how much can you
maximalist.
take,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And so like I personally have like 6 or 7 of her pieces, and they range from like really big to really small, and they're all so different, and they're all over my house, and it's really wonderful because I think with all of the color, it's so easy to incorporate it into your life, into whatever style that you have. One thing that's really sweet to me is people will come in and like, oh, this would be great in a child's room. And in my head, I'm like, it'd be great in your room too. Like it doesn't
Why
have
does
to
it
just
have to be
yeah.
for children,
And like I
right?
get the fact that it makes an impression on people so young, and also makes an impression on people of all ages. It's just it's really wonderful.
Right.
So those are the people that come in.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, the walls have been painted here in Adrianne's signature style, which I just love. But
She did this freehand.
did she? It's really quite,
I know.
quite amazing. But you don't have to have that. In other words,
Right.
you don't have to layer.
Right.
And for some people, that would be too busy.
Mhm.
But a beautiful piece without layering
Yeah.
might be just enough.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, that's something too that's nice about the store is people come in and the walls aren't distracting from the other things that are going on in the space. So I do think it is a really good example of how like it can be incorporated into your life and still not feel overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, I think people don't understand about color is like the colors that are on the walls are the exact same shades of colors that are in the paintings and in many of the other things.
Yeah.
So as long as the colors are not fighting with each other,
Yeah.
you can have lots of different patterns.
Exactly.
And I've decorated my house
Yep.
that way too.
Mine is
I
exactly
decorated
the
like
same.
15 colors,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the same in every single piece.
Yeah.
So that they're not fighting
Yeah.
with each other. So, have 1, have 2, have 3. have
Exactly.
4. So why not?
Why not? I guess that's kind of what the store asks is why not?
Yeah.
It's like, why, like, why not have just like a little bit of color? It doesn't have to start big. You can start small. You can start with a colorful pair of socks or like a fun keychain, a fun piece of art, a whimsical clip. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be.
Take the first step.
Yeah.
And then you can grow. You can
dip the toe in.
expand from there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love the fact that Adrianne is also doing her prints on clothes. And I see a beautiful rack of beautiful things over here. So let's go have a
Yes,
look.
Of course. So one thing that she's been wanting to do more of is textile prints. And something that she's done for the last 3 years now is athletic wear sets. This year we added the addition of activewear tops.
Okay.
And what I really love about the leggings that she's done the last couple of years is that they have pockets, which I
Nice.
really love.
Got a place to put your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've actually run a couple of like 8Ks in the leggings. So like they're good for like actually moving, and they're also great for just like running errands.
Well, because they're so cute.
Yes, exactly.
It's not really like you're wearing workout clothes.
Exactly.
Because you're fashionable doing it.
Yeah.
But you were also talking about the sizes.
Yes. So one thing that Adrianne has really tried to maintain from when she had a smaller location into this location is size inclusivity. Because not many boutiques go past XL when like the median person in America is either like a 1X or a 2X. Like that is the average size. And it just doesn't make sense that most of the people who would come into your store can't participate in the fun things in it. And so she's made it a priority to make sure that the clothes that we carry in the store go up to at least 6X. So the leggings and that athletic wear goes up to 6X. We carry another brand that goes up to 5X. And then we also have a local Chicago designer, and her styles go up to 7X. And it's just probably one of the highlights of my job is when people come in and realize that they can experience a boutique and try things on, and the giggling and like the give us a twirls that I hear from the back in the dressing room just make me so happy to know that people are having a good time in the store. And sometimes necessarily they don't buy anything, but like the fact that they know that they can come into our space and be comfortable and try things on and just have a good time with their friends is so special.
Yes. Well, just even coming over here and just seeing, something like this, it's just so happy.
Yeah.
It's just so happy. And you pull it out and then you go, oh, well, that's not my size.
Yeah.
And you put it back. When you pull it out and you look at it and you go, oh, how's it look?
Exactly.
And you start doing this, and
yeah,
then isn't that fun, right?
Yeah.
When you actually get to try something on.
Exactly.
So fun prints, size inclusivity. I think there's a reason why people want to come here and spend time, right?
Yeah.
So not only does it make them happy, but this makes them happy.
Yeah. Like on like a personal level, like on a soul level, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brainchild of graphic designer turned artiste, Adrianne Hawthorne, you can't help but feel happy and inspired after spending time in Ponnopozz. A couple of last thoughts. If you are staying in the city proper, you won't need a car to get around. Take the L, or the elevated train, which is another must-do Chicago experience. If you do decide to use a car, as I did, it's pretty easy to navigate, but challenging no matter what neighborhood you're in to find a parking place. Fair warning. I'm Ms. World Traveler Kerry Damiano, reminding you to travel safe, shop smart, dress well, and be grateful for every day.